Hello everybody. This is my first time making a Deepwoken video, and also the first time I've used my voice, so I just wanted to say hello to everybody. My friend Meatball will be commentating on some of the parts of the video, so I'll just...
guys!
Yeah, hi Meatball. So I was experimenting with talent making as Meatball has started a little project he wanted to show to Agamatsu, for some talent concepts for Deepwoken. So, yeah, Meatball, you can introduce yourself.
Hey guys, I'm Meatball. Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, let's get right into it. So our first talent is called Dark Infection. It's a Shadowcast legendary talent. Its prerequisites are Chaotic Charm, 55 Charisma, and 85 Shadowcast. It has a cooldown of 45 seconds, and it reads, if you hit a charmed enemy with 2 shadow moves, all of your shadow talents will spread to unallied players. This includes Twisted Puppets. Puppets will all spawn towards someone. So Twisted Puppets will home in on nearby non-allies. Sightless Still will make all nearby non-allies blind. Singularity still procs on nearby non-allies. So yeah, that's our first talent. Let's get into our second one, called Ether Suit.
Alright, Ether Suit is a rare talent. Prerequisites are 40, 42, 25 intelligence. Reads, you have a fortified suit of the surrounding your comp. You resist 10% elemental damage when active. Talent gives plus 3 HP. Elemental resistance bar is purple. The elemental resistance bar is below natural armor bar.
So this is our example. It looks really bad, but... Our next talent, called Dark Attraction. Dark Attraction is the replacement for the Kirsten Innate talent, because the Kirsten Innate talent's not good. So you gain an ether regeneration buff of 3% when it's dark, but whenever it's sunny or raining, you get a 3% speed debuff. So speed talents can still be utilized when it's raining and sunny, and the speed debuff stacks with the carry weight overload speed debuff.
Alright, there's a big thing I have to read, so I'm just gonna go right through it. Complete Song Mastery. In lore, we all know, not all of us know, but when attunements are purple, it means mastery over the... So, like, in the Eternal Gale, you see, like, kind of purple ice. I don't think that's actually a thing for that, but...
Etheron.
That's in lore.
Etheron uses purple gale.
Yeah, he uses purple gale, yeah.
Mostly used by ground gods and strong figures.
Yeah.
Fair.
Requires 100 in an attunement, 90 intelligence. Only talent that requires a
trait,
whatever it's called. Yeah, trait. Burn damage for flame trunk. Now pierce through physical armor and outfront by 2% burn or burn tick. The burn speed is increased by 1.7 times. Azure flames cannot be used and will lock you out of Song Mastery. Freeze for frost shot now locks you in place. Submit to frost grab. 5 seconds after the freeze, the opponent receives a 10% speed debuff. Freeze locks in place for an extra 1.5 seconds. Freeze now procs more often, and chilling procs freeze after 4 for heavy, 4 M1s for heavy and criticals, 5 for medium, and 4 for dagger. Suffocation for Gale suffocates your monsters for longer. After the suffocation, you get the suffocation symbol around your neck, but it is now purple, and your monsters do less damage and they have a higher windup. 60-second cooldown. Ether Stealing for Shockhouse now percent of your current ether. 30-second cooldown for that. This is a big one for lightning. Stun for lightning now cancels your opponent's cast a mantra in that 10 period. It just gets canceled. Stun can also be applied on your monsters amount of time depending on the weapon type. And heavy hyper armor or any hyper armor you have is canceled, as well as the opponent's. Light weapon gives a 4-second time to stun opponents with M1 with an M1. Medium weapons give a 4.5 second time to stun, and heavy weapons have a 3.5 second period to stun with M1s. Storm's Eye removes the stun on crits and instead gives 4.5 seconds to stun on M1. So Crazy Slot M1s do not count. The storm is nullified of its effect. As well as Stormbreaker. It's a 60-second cooldown. But this whole blood stealing and blood over health and blood wither will come into play later. So, blood stealing and blood rend is now converted into over health, and the blood steal scales with the amount of blood rend launches you cast and land, or well, more of like land. Shroud Cyclone is only applied once. It's 13%. You're not hit in 4.6 seconds with physical launches or M1s. Flash or Strike, Sky Shock, Kick, Beast Bro, Terrapod Mantra. I have no clue what it's called. Includes Oath Physical, or excludes, or yeah, no, includes Oath Physical Mantras except Radiant. Then the overhealth stays for 4.6 seconds and slowly ticks down by 1.5% after the 4.6 seconds. Blood poisoning can also now be converted into blood wither with the mantra icon similar to Ido's scream. The blood wither lasts for 20 seconds and it withers a max of 70%. Rocks gruesome harvest still. 60-second cooldown and stacks with Sown Mend, but Sown Mend is only 5% now. So yeah.
Can't be used with
Also,
Saints Born. Because Saints Born is bad. We hate Saints
no,
Born.
it's not bad. It's just
Yeah,
we
I
hate
know. We
Saints
just
Born.
hate
But
Sworn. Hate Sworn.
this does not work with attunement paths, by the way.
Yeah, all
Yeah.
attunement paths lock you out of this, so they're like mutuals.
Yeah.
Next talent card. You can
All
take
right.
this one,
So
Meatball.
a lot of people have wanted like dual wield katanas and stuff. You know what? I was like, stop! I'll save you guys. It's called Twin Fang Discipline. Twin Fang Discipline is a common talent obtained after talking to the Maestro with requirements. The requirements being 90 in any weapon, 30 agility, 50 intelligence, and killing the Maestro 2 times. The talent card is a secret style made by the Maestro. The style he gives to only the strongest of people. For obtainment, after meeting the requirements, Maestro says, "Seems you're a pretty strong warrior. You know, I don't give secrets out a lot, only if it's to people I see potential in." Player says, "What do you mean?" Maestro, "I have a blade style for people I truly see potential, truly intelligent and strategic warriors. Do you want to learn the style?" Player says, "Yes." The screen turns black and you get the talent card. Maestro says you have to find a weapon like to use the style. Farewell. Already dual wielded weapons do not. All medium weapons, or all medium swords. I don't. All medium swords gain the curved blade M1 animations. All heavy weapons gain the wretched maw blades M1 animations. That includes all heavy weapons, so not just like one weapon type. One-handed weapon criticals now have a unique daggers make you use reverse grip slice up. Just look it up. I also got inspiration that from Elden Ring. Makes you do less posture damage, and you get less posture damage like normal one-handed weapons. So yeah.
So, our next talent card is called Sultorian Waters. It's the replacement for Sultori in innate talent, because Sultor innate talent is not good. Sultors gain a 1.2 times damage buff when fighting in water, including ships. So you can be on a ship as well. But you gain a 2% speed debuff in the water. So, this stacks with other damage modifiers. And the speed debuff again stacks with the carry weight overload debuff and other speed debuffs. Our next
Yeah.
talent, called Overbearing Mastery, it requires 130 points put across weapons. At least 30 points must be put into all the weapon stats, with the other two needing to be 40 or above, so you can't just put like 100 into light and 30 into heavy. So it reads, using your expertise on weapons, you can apply all of your knowledge to arms on different types. So all the weapon talents will apply to all other weapons. So heavy weapon talents will apply to light weapons that you use and medium weapons that you use. Exceptions are the spear and the rapier talents. They don't work together. So spear won't proc rapier talents and vice versa. Same with great hammers and clubs. The armor talents also do not apply to the weapons, such as paired soul working with katanas. It also does not work with like great axes, only katanas. Next, it's called Obscure Retreat. Yucky. Meatball, you can read this one. Don't even want to say it out loud. Just an assassination debuff. Okay, I guess I'll read it out loud. So it is an advanced assassination talent. The requirements are 100 agility, 40 charisma, and all of the assassination talents currently in the game. So it reads, if you are to get hit after assassinating a target and above 90%, you shade step to the nearest ally. If this talent activates, deep wounds effects are disabled, returning your assassinated target to normal. So once you shade step to the nearest ally, you gain a 15% speed debuff for 20 seconds. This stacks with other debuffs such as the Celtor debuff, stuff like that. You can shade step to the nearest ally if they're within a 150 stud range. Outside of that, it's useless, and it gives you plus 6 passive agility. So this is toxic. We hate assassination builds, and it just lets them run harder.
Yeah.
Alright, Karmic
Sorry, I wasn't
Dice.
reading over that last one.
You're good. This is a resonance. Alright, so it reads, apply karmic links between you and your opponents. Rolls a dice to change damage types. A link will be applied between the user and the targets that you apply karmic links on.
Links can be set at a time. Six-sided die that depends on which number it lands. Converts damage types to another. Applies to everyone linked, including yourself.
So here are the effects for those. When the dice lands on the number 1, all the damage dealt between the karmic linked have been converted to blunt. When it lands on a 2, all the damage dealt between the karmic linked is converted to lightning damage.
And then when the die on number 3, it's converted into burn damage. Number 4 is converted to chill damage.
Number 5 converts to bleed. Number 6 converts to eruption path. So the corrupted version is, I think, what he meant, but it allows for 2 different damage types. The first one, replacing the number 6, being eruptions. When the die lands on 6, all the damage turns into the detonation explosions. Parryable, blockable, dodgeable.
When the die lands on 4, all damage turns into ether and tempo steel.
So this is actually a pretty good resonance, I would say. You just need to find the right build. So here is a path made by Kreinkozo, who I will link in the description. Disaster Path, Raging Tempest. So for every 3 Thunder Mantras that connect, you summon a Cyclone that pulls in and flings your target. If you use Gale Mantras instead of 3 Thunder Mantras, you'll just stun the target from the Cyclones rather than flinging them away. For Aspiring Typhoon, it applies both stun and fling on Cyclones. And then Expressive Torrent changes Tempest Blitz, which is the Gale, Lightning, or Thunder Call mantra, to a Roundhouse Kick that will knock the target into the air, which you then follow up by slamming into the ground, and then Meatball will read over the rare cards. These are both mutually exclusive as well.
Yeah. So Calm Before the Storm, pressing X, and which can be used to empower your next one. Calm Before the Storm has a bar similar to Tempo, where you need to get a certain percent filled with power your Cyclones. Cloudburst Super Storm, replacing Cyclones instead for every block break. There's a cloud above the target, which knocks them down with Gale and rains lightning on them in seconds. Cloudburst Supercell applies a cloud above the block broken target that follows them around 10 seconds until it activates. This is parryable, blockable, and dodgeable, and also auto parried. These 2 talents are mutually exclusive. Calm Before the Storm unlocks the out of Cloudburst Supercell, and vice versa, because they are mutually exclusive.
Our next talent, Bloody Strings, is a Blood Rend rare talent. You need complete Song Mastery but the bleed version. So opponents affected by your Blood Poison and Blood Wither are easily bent and manipulated. Upon an opponent reaching 15% Blood Poison and 15% Blood Wither, a Crimson String appears linking you and your opponent. This string lasts for 15 seconds and has a cooldown of 30 seconds, which only starts after the string disappears. Using the Puppet Master tool, similar to Ardor, put into your inventory, similar to Ardor and Berserk, having a linked string will pull the opponent towards you. This has a 3-second cooldown, meaning within the string time you can get 5 of these off if you use it exactly when the cooldown is up. If your opponent reaches 25% blood poisoning and 25% blood wither, you gain a new ability. When you use the Puppet Master tool while the opponent fits the above criteria, you violently rip the string out of them, causing all the blood wither to leave their blood bar, converting it to normal blood. This will give you 20% overhealth. The overhealth you gain does not decrease for 5 seconds. If you are hit within these 5 seconds, it will immediately start to decrease at a rate of 2% per second. If you have not been hit within the 5 seconds, the bar will begin to decrease at a rate of 1% per second. And this overhealth cannot stack with the overhealth gained from Sow and Mend. Our next talent, called Intertwining Fates, is a legendary Thunder Call talent, because we really needed this. Its prerequisites are 85 Thunder Call, and the talent Static Link is mutually exclusive with Static Allure. It reads, your Static Links transfers stun through linked opponents. If one of the linked opponents is already stunned, deal damage to them instead. If multiple enemies have static links, then proccing stun to one linked enemy will proc stun to all linked enemies. If this stun is applied to an enemy that is already stunned and linked, then it will deal the base mantra or attack damage instead. So an example of this would be if 3 opponents are static linked and you hit the first opponent with Rising Thunder, it will stun them. Opponents 2 and 3 also get stunned, though they do not get hit with the mantra and do not take the damage. The second example being that the 3 opponents are again static linked. You hit the opponent number 1 with the Grand Javelin mantra, and it stuns them and deals 5% damage, while opponent 2 is fighting your other friend using Thunder Call and is already stunned, so they take 5% damage like opponent 1, and do not get any more stun. Opponent 3 is not stunned though, so they gain the stun and take no damage from the mantra or base attack. Now, a path, 40 Blood Rend, 40 Flame Charm. So here is a talent tree, starting with Sizzling Path, Scarlet Embers. So this turns your flames deep red and causes your blood pools and stuff like that to have little flames coming off of them. So for the base path's effect, it uses Blood Scorched, which keep in mind the blood wither, because this will be very important. So basically, every 5% blood poison your blood run mantras deal causes your next flourish to proc Blood Scorched. So then the requirements for that are obviously 40, 40 in both Blood Rend and Flame Charm. And now 2 paths for this path. You can either go the path of Everlasting Flame or Sanguine Sacrifice. So for the path of Everlasting Flame, you only need Sizzling Path, and it's mutually exclusive with Sanguine Sacrifice. So Everlasting Flame, upon proccing Blood Scorch on an opponent with max Blood Scorch, so upon proccing it again while the opponent has 15% Blood Scorch, you take all their Blood Scorch and turn it into 8% Blood Poison and 7% normal blood to light an Undying Flame on them. So, basically what the Undying Flame does is when they get lit on fire, it takes 5 rolls to put out, but it only does 1% of their health every 2 seconds, and on every damage tick, it deals 2% Blood Scorch as well. So at max, saying they don't roll it, you can get around 24% blood scorch, but you can't go above 15% at a time. Then the legendary talent for this path, which is called Hemokinetic Detonation, 80 Blood Rend, and Everlasting Flame requirements. So this is also mutually exclusive to Final Act. So when you land an opponent, or when you land a mantra on an opponent with an Undying Flame on them, it will cause them to explode, shooting out pools of scorched blood. So basically what this means is that if you hit a mantra, both either Flame Charm or Blood Rend, on an opponent that has Undying Flame procced on them, they will explode like a detonation or an eruption, and it will shoot out blood pools. that cause the opponent to be lit on fire, but just base flame charm fire. If they stand on them, it will also take away their Undying Flame and put it on cooldown if it's not already on cooldown. So then our next path, called Sanguine Sacrifice. Upon proccing Blood Scorch while the opponent is at max Blood Scorch, causes you to give up 15% of your blood to raise the opponent's Blood Scorch beyond its limits. What this means is that you will give up 15% blood while the opponent is at 15% Blood Scorch, to raise their Blood Scorch to 25%. It can go up to 25% now. The cap is raised until their current Blood Scorch falls beneath 15%, in which you'll have to proc Sanguine Sacrifice again, which is on a cooldown of 45 seconds. It will also not proc if you're 2 bars or below of blood. Then its other talent. Oh yeah, Sanguine Sacrifice requires Sizzling Path and 60 Blood Rend and mutually exclusive with Everlasting Flame. Then Blood Donor, which requires Sanguine Sacrifice. When proccing Blood Scorch on a fully overscorched opponent, you convert their Blood Scorch into Overhealth. So what this means is if you proc Blood Scorch again on an opponent with 25% Blood Scorch, you will turn their Blood Scorch into 15% Blood Poisoning and 10% normal blood. Or I believe it's 10% Blood Wither. And then you will get 20% Overhealth, which lasts for 10 seconds straight. And then if you're hit within 10 seconds, it will last for the 10 seconds straight, and then will decrease at a rate of 1% per second, and that will be the Sanguine Sacrifice talent tree. Oh, I forgot to mention the Undying Flame. The Undying Flame is white.
Oh, yeah. Guys, me and Archmage, we've been homies since like kindergarten, right? We've known each other for a long time, right? So I was like DMing him, like I was chatting him up because like we are literally best friends. Like we know each other, like we're cool with each other, like blah blah blah. Like he added Saint Sworn just to be mean to me, like blah blah blah. So yeah, guys, he DM'd me like this concept because I've always told him like, we need the pumpkin pitch attunement. Like, where's the pumpkin pitch attunement? So he finally gave in. He gave me some sneak peeks for the pumpkin pitch attunement. Yeah, I'll read you some of the mantras. Yeah, there's under the best attunement talent tree, obviously.
Obviously.
So you get pumpkin pitch, self-explanatory. When you get the attunement. Pumpkin bash, violently bash your opponent with a this insta kills, by the way. It sends you to the depths, no matter what. Pumpkin daggers, best attunement. Pumpkin pitch is now formed into daggers. Pumpkin spear. Pumpkin's pitch is now formed into a projectile spear. That sends you to layer, I believe 7. He said. Pumpkin barrage. Now throws Pumpkin pitch now throws multiple pumpkins with pumpkin barrage, and then pumpkin trap. It's now trapped with a pumpkin and stepped on, the opponent explodes, and their limbs and their blood and their skeleton goes up in the air, and it's a violent scene. And if it's at Etrian Wilds and you're near like the Neve camp, the Neve gets showered on with blood of you.
Because we hate Neve.
So yeah. And whoever's saying, if you guys say in the comments that pumpkin pitch attunement is underpowered, it's bad, see me in Chime. Let's wager. Let's do a wager in layer 3, buddy, and then I'll beat you. And yeah, I'll be throwing pumpkin pitches at your grave when you die. By the way. Yeah.
So here are the credits. Rio rocks me. I fixed all the grammar mistakes because Meatball and Kreinkozo are not very good at writing. I made bloody. Yeah, you're good at writing, but you can't grammar. Bloody Strings, Sizzling Path, Intertwining Fates, and the only Kirsid's logo was all made by me. Kreinkozo made Obscure Retreat, Yucky Toxic Personality, Assassination Talents. He made the disaster path for Raging Tempest, which is the Thunder Call Gale. Then he made Overbearing Mastery and Karmic Dice, which was the cool resonance. Here's a link to the Kiersid art on the Kiersid page. The OP deleted their account.
Yeah, OP's deleted. Yeah, their account, yeah.
Meatball made the talent Dark Attraction, Ether Suit, Seltorian Waters, Complete Song Mastery, Pumpkin Pitch Attunement. He made the idea for the whole project. He made the base outline of Hemokinetic Detonation, which was the legendary Scorching Path, I believe it was called.
Everlasting Flame.
Yeah, the legendary for the Blood Path. And then Twin Fang Discipline. Massive shout out to Talent Card Maker, because we wouldn't have been able to do this without them. It would have taken days. Elden Ring for mostly for Twin Fang Discipline. It's going to be my background music that I'm not actually going to add into the video. I don't know why I put this here. I thought I was going to. Still check this guy out.
Die!
And here's Parasol's, or Meatball's, background music. He's actually going to put this in his video. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought. My first video with my voice in it. My first Deepwoken related video. Let me know if you guys want to see more of this, and we will provide. Meatball, any parting words?
Yeah, guys, if you guys ever see me in Chime, just pumpkin pitches all over the place. Keep throwing pumpkin pitches everywhere. I'm just omni pumpkin pitch throwing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry about some of the stuttering. We completely improvised this because we wanted to get this out. And sorry for Meatball cutting out a lot. He needs to speak up. So yeah, it's okay, Meatball. All right. So, thank you. See ya.